What you share on LinkedIn becomes the foundation for generating new leads, reaching new audiences, and eventually making the sale. However, it's getting harder and harder to get people's attention because everyone is trying to get a piece of the pie. Now, whether you are writing to sell a service, a product, or to get someone's attention regarding your new project, or even to get some funding, you need to craft the perfect LinkedIn post if you want to reach people. So how can you stand out from the crowd? By writing engaging, interesting, and attention-grabbing posts. And these 5 strategies will help you get likes, comments, and the thing you are looking for with your post. Now, the first strategy to capture a reader's attention is to have a hook in your first line. Seriously, you have one single goal, whether you are writing a LinkedIn post or an email. It is to get your reader to read the next sentence. If you can get the person to read the next sentence and the next sentence, you will more likely get them engaged in the post and doing the action you want them to do. So the most critical part of a LinkedIn post are the first 6 lines. Why the first 6 lines? Because these are exactly the ones that show before the reader has to click on read more. So the first sentence should be as strong as possible because you want to captivate your reader's attention. So in this post you can see as the opening that I wrote, people don't care about what you post. And this is something bold and heavy to say, but this gets people's attention. They want to know exactly why I think that way. So always think to yourself, people are scrolling through social media. Is your post compelling enough for make them click and stop and read for a few seconds? If the answer is yes, then you can move on to the next strategy. The second strategy is to write for people and not for robots. See, people are busy. They don't want to read another post that looks like the other posts. And especially, they want people to talk directly to them. And guess what will not help you? Writing like a robot. People connect with other people, not with logos, not with super fancy copy, and not with your latest news about your company, if that does not resonate with the people that are reading it. A strategical way to do this is to use the word you when you write the posts. So here's the example. People don't care about what you post. Yep, they don't really care. It's your job to show them why they should. It's your job to learn more about copywriting, marketing, and social media. It's your job to ask your audience what they want to read. It's your job to write the content. If you want people to care about what you have written, you need to work at writing valuable content. By doing this, you can build engaging content that addresses your customers' problems and questions. You don't have to create a viral post, but you should always be getting better at writing and creating a more effective copy. What if people don't care? But what if they do? Now, the third strategy is adding value to the people that are reading your post. You have hooked the reader with the first 3 sentences and you are writing directly to them, human to human. Now it's time to add value. Think about what your audience finds value. Think about their problems. Think about what they are looking for when they click on your post. And so make it relevant and helpful for them, not for you. And eventually, this is what makes an interesting post and not just another dry post full of jargon that just wants to convert people into sales. In this example, I'm showing exactly how people can distribute their content smartly. So I'm not using fancy words, I'm speaking directly to my audience, and my goal is helping them. And adding value to your audience is as simple as sharing tools, sharing insights, sharing relevant news from your industry, or sharing an interesting story that will get your audience excited or inspired. And many people think that LinkedIn is this super corporate social media where you must be super professional and cautious. But for me, that's the formula for being boring. So the fourth strategy to writing an engaging LinkedIn post is this: don't be boring. So write your copy in an engaging way so people actually look through to continue reading your post. And a few tips are to use words like me, you, and I, to tell stories about you, about your clients, something inspiring about your childhood, Anything works as long as you're being interactive. Don't be afraid to use some humor because people are people and they like humor. You can also use facts, but the way you put your facts is crucial. So if you make them interesting, you are way ahead of the game. And really, you can share anything as long as you make the copy interesting and you make it relevant for your audience. Now, you've reached the end of the post. So the fifth strategy is to write a compelling CTA, or call to action. And this can either be asking people to reply on the comments, to follow you, to subscribe your newsletter, or to buy from you. Because you have introduced a subject, you have offered value. Now it's your time to ask something of your audience. And asking for a comment, it's a great way to build some engagement in getting your post in front of more people. But make it easy for people to comment. So don't make super complicated questions that people don't want to answer. Make sure you have something easy for people to say, like, do you agree with these techniques? Yes or no? And obviously, people tend to elaborate whether they say yes or no. And if you want people to subscribe to your newsletter, make sure you give them a compelling reason to do so. So I'm often using a future post or a future video to get people onto my newsletter. In this example, I wrote, I'm writing an ambitious article, 100 marketing tips from the top 100 content marketers. If you want to be the first to read it, subscribe to my newsletter. And now you finally have an engaging LinkedIn post. You have hooked your reader within the first 3 sentences. You talked directly to them. You offered value without being boring. And you ended the post with a compelling call to action. You just need to repeat this formula every single time to see results in your LinkedIn posts and get engagement. And remember, by writing more engaging posts instead of those boring old corporate LinkedIn posts, you're actually getting people aware of you, of your brand, and the things you have to say. And don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn because it's way more than a corporate social media. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much.